Okay. So this is my first guest. I wanted to welcome JD. Welcome to
Guys.
the show. It's great to have you here, JD. He started his journey to become an inbound closer. Your goal was to hit 10K per month, and now you're doing almost double that. So it's great to have you on. I want to dive into kind of your background, um, the moments that you were doubting yourself, how you pushed through, etc., so we can all benefit from your story. So again, thank you for showing up, and it's great to have you here.
Yeah, no, good to be here, dude.
Awesome. So wanted to quickly dive into chapter one of JD's journey. Okay. Take me back to before you started, before you were in remote sales, before you got into inbound closing, and how your day-to-day life looked, and what kind of you thought your goals were back then and what your purpose was back then.
Sure. I mean, dude, I've been in the industry for a little while, right? I think when I was 18, I bought like Ty Lopez's whole social media marketing agency course. And um, yeah, I mean, from 18 until about like 21 or 22, I was basically just going through a bunch of courses. I was working as a server at a restaurant, different odd jobs. I was doing a lot of sales jobs.
Mhm,
Very, very low paying sales jobs, right? That
mhm,
does exist. Um, and I guess the reason why was like, I guess just to give you an idea, when I was 17, right, graduating high school, I graduated when I was 17. I legitimately had my life planned out. I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go to Valencia, which is a local community college, and
okay,
I'm gonna work. I'm gonna work at my mom's restaurant, not her restaurant. She's a manager. I'm gonna work at the restaurant. And then I'm probably gonna get like another job, right? My brother-in-law hooked me up with a job as an apprentice to a foreman as an electrician, right?
oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
that was my first job, dude. 11.40 an hour, and everybody was like, "Dude, you're making 11.40 an hour, and you're 18. That's insane."
that is crazy, bro. You know what? Well, my first real job, I was a scaffolder in
Really?
in Canada, Fort Mac.
Uh,
Jaydaniel, I think he
yeah,
worked in Canada as well. And
yeah,
I
yeah.
was making $25 an hour at 19. And
Oh,
people were like, yo, that is insane. I was working like 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, making
right.
pretty good money.
Yeah, you balling out on those $1,200 a week checks. No, dude, literally, everybody was like, "Yo, like you're doing well. You're doing well right now. You're in a good spot."
Uh-huh.
And it was like at that time, like right after that, I had started watching like all the like entrepreneurial videos. You know what I mean? Like the Grant Cardone and like
Mhm.
Ty Lopez was the first one, and I know people have different opinions on him. I fuck with Ty.
Uh,
Um,
I, yeah, I like Taiwo. I did it 67 steps. Have you done that?
did you? Um, I didn't go through the course, but I did find a couple of the videos online and I binged them.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah, no, it's legit. Like Ty really knows his stuff.
Mm.
And what was it? So I had been watching like his YouTube videos for a while, like a couple months, and um basically like in terms of like the story, and I think something that'll be just entertaining was like he got me the job as an electrician, right? That was in August. And I started working, and I think I'm watching little like entrepreneur videos on my phone, right? Like Patrick Bet David when he had like 6,000 subscribers,
Mhm.
Valuetainment, right? I'm watching these videos on
Wow.
my phone. Yeah, so this is a while ago. So I'm
That's a
watching the
lot.
first, yeah, so I'm watching literally it's brand new. He's like, hey guys, so this channel's gonna be like giving value. So I'm watching a little entrepreneur, I'm watching Pat on my phone, I'm watching Grant Cardone on my phone, I'm watching all these different guys. And my job wanted me to take a piss test, right? They're like, you gotta take this test to
Uh-huh.
like
Yeah,
for drugs, right?
yeah,
They're
yeah,
like, take the drug test. So I remember at like because that was the first time I heard of Grant. And as I was driving to take the test, um, this is gonna be my like going through my head is like this is gonna be my first job. I'm gonna be doing this, and I hear Grant Cardone for an hour. It was an hour and 5 minutes. He was on stage. He was talking about like real estate and making your first million, and and it was a long drive too. It was about an hour drive, right, from like out in the country into the city,
Mhm.
where I was working, and like Orlando. And by the time I had arrived in the place, right, and I sat down for 20 minutes and I listened to the video, I was like, yo, I kind of don't want to work a job.
That's
And
fantastic.
yeah. and so like that you know that kind of stayed in my head,
Yeah.
and I think within oh, it was so bad, dude. Like I remember I fell through the ceiling one time, and like number one, I just wasn't good at the job. Number two, I didn't care about it. I was just constantly thinking, I want to be in business. I want to do something different, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I actually wanted to quit. I told myself, hey, I'm just gonna quit. A couple weeks into the job, I was like, I'm just gonna quit.
Uh-huh.
A couple weeks, it was like 3 or 4 days. I was like, I'm gonna quit. I gotta quit. I gotta quit. I gotta quit. Freaking police pulled me over one night.
Uh-huh.
Um, I was driving to work because I used to work midnight. You go in at 11 p.m., right?
Oh,
And you come back in the morning.
graveyard shift. Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So sometimes it was that. Sometimes we would just go in at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning, right? Before the sun comes up or after it goes down. Um, but one time I was driving there, dude, and a cop pulled me over and like I had like a little breakdown, dude. Like I was legit like the cop
Wow.
was like, "What are you doing over here?" And I was like, "Oh, I was about to quit my job.
Wow.
I want to be free." I was just losing my shit, bro. This you know 6 years ago,
Yeah.
and you know I was fresh out of high school, third day on the job, and I just had these thoughts like going, "Oh, I want to quit, I want to quit," but I didn't have the balls to, and I think within like a week or two of that, like I got fired. Right? He even told me why. He just took me into the office. He's like, "Yeah, dude, like pink slip. Thanks for being here. You're gone."
But you were
And
kind of happy then, right? I bet you were
oh,
happy.
dude, like he told me that, and I was trying to hide the smile. I was like,
There was, yeah.
because I was watching
Oh
all
no, I'm
the
so sorry, man. I'm so.
yeah, yeah, because I was watching all like the law of attraction like YouTube videos too. So
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh shit, this is the universe conspiring and working with.
Bro, you know what? Yeah, same thing happened to me. Real quick before I got into sales, I got into sales like a few months ago. Before
Yeah,
I got into sales, I was working like a customer service job at
yeah,
DHL. It was dead end job, you know.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and I was like thinking about joining UCM, and I was like just looking at this, like I was just constantly thinking about sales.
yeah.
And one day my manager comes to me. She says, "Listen, I just need to speak with you in this office."
Hmm.
Like, okay. Um, then I walk in, um, and I've never been fired before. That was the first time I got
Yeah,
fired, by the way. I see her hands shaking. She sits
yeah,
down. She called another lady to come sit with her. She's like swallowing dry spit, you know. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Oh, okay, I'm getting fired." That's why I just clocked instantly. And she said, "Listen, like, but we're gonna have to let you go." I was like, "Okay." She's like,
good.
I mean, meaning like you're gonna have to go like within like a week. Okay, yeah, it's cool with me. Then she was like, "You're taking this very, very well." I was like, "Yeah, it's fine with me." Um, and that for me was like I think we have a same moment there. I mean, it's kind of like a confirmation, like, yo, I gotta do this, gotta like
Yeah,
move
yeah,
on.
yeah. This
Yeah,
isn't for yeah, no, this isn't for me, right? This is just and you know, I do think everything happens for a reason, and I thought it was hilarious that you know, like, because I was watching all the law of attraction videos, so I was like, this is the universe conspiring for me, right? Like, I was like so pumped, but I didn't want to show it, so I was
that's
like,
amazing.
okay, yeah. And then I I met a really good friend actually. I was at the basketball court, and I met a really good friend, and I had met him a couple weeks earlier, but like now I talk to him, and I'm like, dude, I've been watching Grant Cardone, you know, like sales, entrepreneurship, like there's something here. And then he's like, oh, dude, I just started working at the dealership. You want a job? And I was like, no way, because I had just been watching a video, right? And in the video, right, it was I forget who, but it might have been Cardone, but it was just a bunch of billionaires, and they were saying like, dude, like if you like the best advice I could give somebody who's like 18, I was 18, is like, dude, like get into a sales job or join the military. Because the
Wow.
one thing that all billionaires have that other people don't is they have the ability to communicate and deal with people. And they also have like discipline, they have control over themselves. And sales gets you both of those.
Yeah.
It's a way to get into business without like investing a whole bunch of money and learning all the skills you need to be successful in business. And it's like the perfect mentorship where you can actually see how things are working, and the owner's incentivized much more than a coach that you're paying to make
Mm.
sure you actually learn those skills, right? So um, I was like, oh, dude, I gotta get a sales job. I gotta get a sales job. And you know, I was just watching Grant Cardone, and my buddy's like, hey, I was walking by this dumpster, and I just found this container, and he found this giant plastic bag, It was he works in like a retirement community for like really rich old people, right? That's where he used to work, and like he just they throw away like new shit. But he found like crazy, right? This was actually kind of crazy. He found this giant bag, right? And
Uh-huh.
inside of it, it was a bunch of like Cardones, like wristbands, right? Like the 10X rule, of all things, right? Because I had just watched all his videos. I was on his site. I was like, I could never afford like $5,000 for Cardone's like sales training. Oh my God, Cardone University, right? And we were talking about it. And so he's like, guess what I just found? And he just found all that stuff, right? And within a week, he's like, yo, like, at the deal, he's like, at the dealership, it's like, hey, like, you guys get free sales training too, right? And it's Cardone's training, right? So it
Oh,
was kind of funny how Cardone played a big part
yeah,
in
that's
me
insane.
getting involved in sales, and all the like serendipitous things happen. But long story short, I got the job selling cars at Kia in like September, October, and I was shit at it, right? They didn't want to fire me, so like they demoted me to what do you call that? The guy who washes cars. They demoted me to that.
Uh-huh.
And then my past customers are still texting me, so I tried to sell one, and the owner was like, "You can't talk to them. You're not a sales guy." And then I quit that too.
Uh-huh.
And
How
then
long were you on that job?
I don't know, maybe like a month or two.
A
Like
month?
it was
Okay.
not a month or two. It was October until like December, like 2 months.
Uh-huh.
And probably the biggest catalyst to me leaving was like that right when I used to sit in the cold call room upstairs, and like Ty Lopez's ads would play. And I would set, right? Like I even had a day where I set like 7 appointments and everybody came, and
Uh-huh.
I couldn't close any of them. But like I would set a bunch of appointments, and I would do all the calls, and I would take my ups, right? For
Uh-huh.
people who aren't in that world, like that just means like you have 5 salespeople, right? And the guy who's first takes the customers that walk into the door, right? And so once you take them, the next person up waits by the front door and just talks to the next customer that comes in, right? That's how like car dealerships work in terms
I
of
didn't know that.
marketing. Yeah. It's called, you got ups, right? So yeah, like it was if I'm not like getting it up and I'm in the cold call room, and like I would make some cold calls, but I would also watch fucking like YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And I just remember seeing Ty with the big ass house. There's a video where he's walking in front of his mansion, and then it was a 40-minute ad. Never heard of something like this before. It was a
Yeah, he does
40
that.
minute. He used to do like 40-minute ads, and they were good.
I got hit with them one like a month ago,
Did
two
you?
months ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh wow, nice. I've never had it happen besides Ty, but like 40-minute ad.
Yeah.
And he was just talking about like business, like learn the skills, blah blah blah. And I was like, this is good shit, cool. And I probably watched half of it, and I went back on with my day. And then and I looked up his channel, and I watched all his videos, literally all of them. And that's probably a month of me just like watching his shit, right? But
Uh-huh.
then like a month and a half maybe, right? Like now we're in December. And then I see his ad for the social media marketing agency. Hey guys, we're launching a test group. Start your own social media marketing agency, make $5,000 to $10,000 a month, selling packages of $1,000 to $5,000 a month for your marketing services, right?
Mm.
And that was kind of that was in the end of 2016 in December. That was kind of my intro, bro, like into the space. And then from 2016 until about 2020, it was just like me booking in a bunch of sales calls, hiring VAs, like living life in between.
Oh,
And it
you
was just
had a role with you were working with Ty.
no, so I wasn't working with Ty. I bought his course to start a
Oh,
marketing agency. So I basically had a marketing agency, and I would just book a shit ton of sales calls via email, cold outreach,
uh-huh.
um,
For four
all
years.
that shit. Yeah, for 4 years, bro. But it was on and off, right? It was always just something I did. I always worked like at Golden Corral or did little side jobs. I used to do door-to-door sales. It was door to door. We used to walk around parking lots. We used to just go walk into businesses and try to pitch them. It was hilarious because it was like automotive parts, right? But it was yeah, no, it was fun. It was like windshield replacements and all this shit, right? But
Yeah.
um
Door to
yeah,
door
no,
sales. Isn't that like but you're not like knocking on people's homes in that, right?
yes. So we all the above. So different days, different things, right? One day we're in a parking lot, and we just like talk to people when they're coming out and walk next to them, like, hey, what's going on? Blah blah blah. As they're walking to their
Oh,
car, we
God.
pull out our binder, we do a little like, so you see this? Did you know that this could actually cause this? Yeah. And so like you're right. So like um and literally in 5 minutes we just get them to sign an order. and then we would get paid like our commissions. It was hilarious. But
Bro, do you know how insane that is? Because in the UK, there is door-to-door sales in the UK. But
yeah,
I mean, in America, like you guys just like knocking on people's houses, just the thought
everything.
of that, and then like people are armed,
Yeah.
you know, it's just
Oh yeah,
insane.
you no you need to but it's good because that really does build you up, right? It builds up
That's
your
what I'm
character.
thinking. The nerves,
Yeah.
like before
No,
you
dude.
first started, were you nervous?
I mean, yeah, like you never want to fucking talk to them, right? Like there were days where I would sit on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So we would all park in the shade in the corner of a parking lot, right? And we would all just walk out of the car, like literally just walk down the rows of cars. And whenever somebody's walking towards their car, like we just, hey, what's going on? And you stand beside them, right? So they feel like you're working with them and not against them. You
Okay.
just say something or do something funny,
Okay.
right? Icebreaker, and then you just talk to them and you go through your pitch, right?
Okay, man.
But no, dude, I had days where I would literally sit there, right? So if you can imagine like a Walmart, right? And all the way down, there's like a big tree and there's a shade under it. Our van is the big tree. And there's a little curb, right?
Uh-huh.
And so like there were days where I would sit on the curb for like an hour and a half because I just don't want to fucking talk to these people, right?
I
But
bet, man. That must be flipping nerve-wracking, man.
yeah, but no, you talk to 100 people a day, right? Two of them are going to sign up, right? And then you
Yeah.
make your $100 each person, or two, like $130 each person, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
so that like I did little odd jobs like that, and working as a server at a restaurant and all this stuff for like those 4 years, while I was like, and I learned stuff too, right? Like I hired assistants, and I used to book in a lot of stuff, and I used to go to events and meet people. The agency thing never really worked out, and it was more so for me. I think one thing I've heard a lot is like your business problems are really just your personal problems are being reflect the owner's personal problems being reflected in the business, right? So I just had a lot of growth to do because I
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
business and I never really had a lot of responsibility growing up in general.
Mm.
So like, I mean, it was 4 years of that, right? Just literally booking sales calls and people telling me like, yeah, you're fucking crazy. I'm not paying you 3 grand a month for this shit.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah,
Similar story here. Like,
yeah,
I had a marketing agency, ran it for about a year, little over a year.
yeah,
Same thing, man. Tell people, like, I had a business partner.
yeah,
I tell them, yeah, this is the price. How much does it cost? 3 grand a month. They would just flip out. I'm not paying 3K a month. Same
yeah.
thing, man. I can rent 3 places for. This like one of the guys would just start arguing with us, trying to negotiate a lower price.
Yeah.
So I mean, Ty Lopez sparked, in our generation, just
A
a whole bunch
revolution,
of
bro.
agency owners.
Yeah, yeah, no, literally,
Yeah,
literally. And it's funny because now, like, a prospect says that, like, I'm not paying $3,000 a month, and like, I hear you, dude, but like, how much is it costing you to not have this in place? Like, how
yeah.
much? It's like it's so much easier. But like at the time, right? I would just get those, and I'm like, fuck, whatever, next. It'll take like 30 or 40 or 50 calls, and I'm just like, ah, you know.
Mm,
And that pretty much went on until about, and obviously, right, like life is happening in between. I'm not taking it. So I'm investing like pretty much everything I have into like, hiring assistants and like, you know what I mean? Just different resources to help me out. But like,
mm.
yeah, 4 years, not a ton of progress in terms of like monetary returns from the agency side. I'm building connections, all this stuff. 2020 comes. I had actually gotten married in that time, right? From
Oh,
2018
you're
to
married.
2020. I was not
Oh,
anymore. It was a shit show. Let's not even go into that. But
okay. Yeah.
my point is a lot of life happened, right? Like a lot
Yeah.
of stuff happened in that time, and I didn't take it that seriously. But at I got separated from the person I was with, right? August. I got January of 2020, right? I was in a jail cell. It was very, very bad, right? I
Yeah.
won't go into the stuff. Don't worry, I'm not a bad
Uh-huh.
person, right? Dumb shit. But like I came out of there and I was like, dude, like screw this. Like I'm going to like, you know what I mean? Like bounce, like really bounce back. And I go in March I went to like an entrepreneur event in Tampa.
Uh-huh.
Uh, for a course I bought like 2 years ago. The owner was putting together an event, right? It was for like social media marketing agencies because I was still trying. For me, that was like the thing to do to make money. That was like the best vehicle I had. I just hadn't figured it out yet.
Mm-hmm.
And at the event, it was cool. I met up with a lot of people, made a lot of contacts, right? A lot of guys who were really big in the space. Actually, so I'm going to Costa Rica next week, right? It's
Yeah, I
gonna be
heard.
awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna meet Damon John and Kevin Harrington. We're gonna be in one of the nicest resorts. We're gonna all be together, chilling at the bar. It's gonna be great, right?
Yeah.
But like the reason I'm going is because of a contact I made at that event, right? One
Ah,
of the speakers, I was like, dude, like I really relate to your message. It's awesome. We stayed in touch. And yeah, the only person I know at the event is the multimillionaire who put it together, which is hilarious.
that's
But
interesting.
but anyway, like March, I went to that event, made a lot of contacts, talked to a lot of people, went home. My buddy hit me up. He's like, dude, like I've been in the agency game just as long as you have. We've invested in the same like training, the same courses. I've made a little bit of money, like whatever. Like, um, I'm gonna get into this closing thing, right? I'm actually doing high ticket sales.
Okay.
You should do it. And so me and him have been going through the same courses for literally like 3 years together,
Mhm.
right? And he was making some money, but he was doing his thing here. And um, I had just lost my job because of the pandemic. I remember it was March the 15th of 2020. Like they were like, dude, like you gotta go. And then my other one too, because I was working too. I was doing the door-to-door sales, right? Walking in parking lot sales. And I was working as a server at a restaurant at a Golden Corral, right? At the same time, both of them shut down. We couldn't even like the owner was like, "Hey guys, like, yo, we can't do this anymore." Like,
Yeah, that
sorry.
those both took a hit. I mean, COVID must have, yeah, those are contact.
Yeah,
High
yeah,
contact.
exactly. Yeah, no. So, bro, COVID got rid of both of those. So, both of those are gone. My buddy tells I have like, I think I have like, uh, maybe $1,000 left to my name,
Oh wow.
and my buddy's like, "Yo, like this inbound closer thing, like you should look into it." And I was like, hmm. He's like, just do it, bro. It's really like it's awesome. I'm gonna make a killing. Here's a link to it, and he gave me the link to like Taylor Welch's like IVC course,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, eh, yeah, I was like, eh. I watched the video. I was like, this seems cool, but I'm just gonna focus on my agency. And then a week later, or like 2 weeks later, right? Maybe 3 weeks. It was like 2.5, 3 weeks. He reaches back out to me, and you know how like in the ad, like they were like in 21 days you can make this money, right?
Made
In
it.
21 days, he actually did make a shit ton of sales,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
But he already had the 4 years of experience in the industry with these other companies earlier, right? As well as
Mhm.
running his own agency, right? And he had already made like 5 figures in sales in the past with his own agencies, right? He has that 21-day success story. It was actually 5 years of experience,
Which
right?
people, yeah, yeah, people don't really tell
Turned it
you
into
about.
turned it into an opportunity.
Yeah.
But I was like, no fucking way. I was like, you know what? Fuck this, bro. I quit in the agency game, or at least I'm putting it on a hold. I'm just gonna jump in the closing. You can fucking do it. Like I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And so I put out my credit card, man. I bought the accelerator. I bought the certification thing. I started going through it. And I was like, dude, this is easy. I'm so confident I can crush this. I'm just gonna. I know I'm gonna be like super successful. I have a lot of drive
Uh-huh.
after this freaking separation and stuff. Like, and where I'm going, like I'm just gonna document my journey, right? Because I thought when I bought Ty Lopez's course,
Yeah.
right, 4 years earlier, when I bought Ty Lopez's course, I saw people start YouTube channels talking about it, and they got a lot of views. And I looked those same people up, and they all had like 50,000 subs, 100,000 subs. They were millionaires. They were talking about like all the time that they're spending on their boats and shit. And I was like, yo, like, why not? And
Yeah.
even if nobody watches my videos, like, dude, like I get to see myself at the start of this because like you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
get to see myself at the start of this. And I got really thinking about it and I was like, fuck it. So I put on I turned my computer on. I was like, hey, what's going on, guys? Um, I'm gonna document my journey from zero
Uh-huh.
to hero, making 10 grand a month, whatever the fuck. Right. Um
When was the last time you watched that video?
I watched it.
Yeah.
I don't know, like last year maybe or some shit.
Wow.
I
Bro,
don't know
you
the
should
last time.
watch it, man. You know what? Me, when I watch some videos of myself,
Yeah.
I cringe, man. Makes me
Oh, dude, no, I've never
sick.
watched. It's funny you say that. I've actually I've never. You know how you post YouTube content, right? Like people watch it and they edit. I've never edited any of my videos, but I've never watched back any of my videos. If I have, it's just for a couple seconds
Oh wow.
because I know if I watch it, I'm gonna think, let me change it or
That's
I don't know if I want
that's
to post
me,
that.
man.
Yeah, I've
That's
never watched any of them, bro. I have 300 videos up. I've never watched any of them. But yeah, long story short, bro, I went through the course. I rushed and I got a client in like 2 weeks because I wanted to hit the goal in 21 days. and it was a shitty little startup, and not
Mm.
shitty. He was a cool guy, but it was a startup. It didn't have like the systems or the training or the development that I needed, and I took calls, but I couldn't sell anything, and whatever, right? Um, I think I even had like fucking note cards that said like 21 like one in 1 month, May 20th of 2020, I'll make my first 10 grand. Um, no, I think I made like my first like 5-figure months, or at least close to 5 figures, like 8 grand. Um, in July, no, not July, in like October or some shit of 2020. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, so it was more so like it was more so like 5 months. So like, and I posted a video every single day. So
Every
it
day.
was so funny because yeah, every day, because people were on day 30, day 40, day 50, day 60. People were like,
Uh-huh.
"Where's the money? Where's the money? Huh? Where's the money?" Because I didn't expect anybody to watch my videos. I just posted.
Yeah.
I wanted to look back on it, right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I'm getting like 200 subs like a week, and I'm like, wait, what? 5,000 views today? How? Like, right? Like the channel just started getting a bunch of attention. Like, before I had actually started making money from like sales, right?
Uh,
And for 2 months straight, because like day 21, day 22, day 23, like, bro, the amount of shit talking haters was incredible. I actually, at one point I said, you know what, fuck these guys. And I banned like 80 or 90 people. I had 80 or 90 people commenting on my videos, like just talking
saying,
shit.
where's the money? Oh my God. That,
Where's the money? Huh? Right? So I would just ban them all, ban, block, block, block. But before I did that, right? Because that was just a day I said, you know what, screw this. I didn't know how to do that at first, right? So I
yeah.
would just say, it's coming, winky face, it's coming, it's coming. And then when it finally, when it finally came, I went back to the same post that I put, it's coming, and I was like, it came.
That's good. Love it in their face, yeah.
Oh yeah, I went back to all the comments, and I was like, it came, and then I was like, you know what? I can probably even get more views to like videos. So I would like copy and paste the title to the videos where I talk about it, and I would just put them there, and it was hilarious.
That's
But,
cool.
yeah, no, but then like the company I was at, like their delivery was having trouble. Clients weren't getting results. So I said, screw this, I'm leaving, and I went to another company, and I was there for 15 months, and then
And that's where you really saw the growth that you're looking for.
yeah, like I developed my skill set a lot in the other company.
Okay.
So the initial company was actually sales mentor so the company that was selling like the training.
Uh-huh.
They needed like specialists to like call the people who bought the training, which is hilarious, right? Because when you look at it from the outside, it's like, what the fuck? You bought the training to be a closer, and now you're selling the training on to be a closer when you're not closing, right? So
Yeah, that's a bit of an MLM, you kind of.
yeah, yeah, no, and it was hilarious too, because it was like I would actually think like because I realized, right, fulfillment struggling, what's going on. I would think like, man, like this is like I should probably go somewhere else, but I wasn't
Yeah.
confident in my ability to get another gig, right? So it was this whole like mental conundrum, but I ended up leaving, and because it's like I didn't understand how vast the industry is. There actually is like a shit ton of opportunity, bro. Like there's so many companies that you can close for. Um, there's so many. So basically, I was at this other company for 15 months, right? And I did some setting, I did some closing, I picked up some gigs outside of it, whatever, right? But for 15 months, I was basically developing my skill set. Um, and the
Um,
last like month, dude, I've just been doing an interview after, it was, I left because like I just wasn't getting the opportunity. Like I felt that I was, that I needed
mm,
to make the money I need to make. And so I just, non-emotional decision. I've been here for this long. I'm not really taking advantage of the training anymore. Let me just move on. But I left, and then dude, like the amount of interviews that I did in the last like month, I spoke to so many companies just to remind myself there's abundance, there's opportunity, there's so
yeah,
many.
man.
Bro, I spoke to so many, so many, so many. I talked to so many recruiters, did a lot of networking. Um, and it's like, okay, cool. Like there is a lot of opportunity, and there's people who suck that are making a lot of money. Like, dude, like if you want to make money, like we're good, right? And
Yeah.
last week, and last week, and 2 weeks ago, I picked a gig, and last week was my first week, like taking calls there, right?
Uh-huh.
And you know what I mean? And here we are, right? Like tomorrow, I have like 7 sales calls or
Wow.
whatever. So so like that's kind of, I guess, the journey to answer your
I wanna,
question.
I
Yeah.
wanna, I mean that it's so interesting because it's almost as
Mhm.
if like I don't know if you can see like someone's writing your story, like the way that you just bump from one place to another.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Like the fact that you're listening to Grant Cardone and then you become your first sales gig technically. was what, a
Yeah,
car dealership. He was selling cars, and
that's
kind
so
of how
bad.
he got started, right? And I'm
Yeah.
guessing it was roughly maybe now you were a bit younger than him. But I wanted to dive into. So I'm reading this book called Release Your Brakes. I don't know if you've read it. Um,
Uh-uh.
Fantastic book. I highly recommend you take a look at it. You and I were talking about Dan Pena or Dan Pena, however you want.
Oh, fucking Dan. Yeah, that dude's a brilliant specimen.
Yeah. Yeah, I live in Scotland, so he's a few hours drive away from me actually. And
Really?
he
That's crazy.
recommends two books.
Mm-hmm.
He recommends only two books. He says, I recommend my book.
He has
Uh yeah, my book, and was it Release Your Brakes? I think he talks about
oh,
what
that's dope.
and he basically this book, what it kind of goes into is releasing your brakes. So imagine you're
Right.
driving a car, but with the handbrake on, and then
That's
you
so good.
and then you release it. Um, and the acceleration, the ease of driving the car is kind of what the book encapsulates, but
Right.
you trying to achieve your goals. A lot of people they use attrition and hard work and just sheer willpower, uh,
Yeah.
myself included. So I
Uh-huh.
wanted to kind of go into that 15-month period where you improved your skills and you got better at closing. I want to
Yeah.
get into like the roller coasters in there while you're honing your skills.
Oh, sure.
Um, how did you? I mean, I'm in sales, so I understand. Like sometimes you're about to take a call and you're just not feeling it,
Yeah.
or wake up today and you're just like I'm not feeling it today. So how do you? What emotion do you usually resort to kind of overcome that initial hurdle?
If I just don't feel like doing the call.
Yeah, like say you don't feel like doing a call. Is it just determination? Is it fear? My manager's gonna flip in,
Coffee.
bite my head off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's a good question, bro, because I know everybody has like a different answer, right? Some people just say do push-ups, do pull-ups,
Uh,
change your physiology, scream,
uh,
change change your physical body to tap into your emotions. And it's true, right? Like if you totally feel like shit, you should probably go for a walk or do some push-ups or something, right?
yeah.
But it's a good question, dude. I mean, for me, I just sit there for a second and I think about it. Like what like because I think a lot of shit, if you just self-talk is huge, right?
Mm.
Like, the fuck you mean you don't feel like it, you little bitch? You know what I mean? Like having that conversation, because like, dude, like, do
Oh,
you remember the days where you worked 16 hours a day, smelling like fucking food at the restaurant? Like this is great. You're talking to people. Like take all the expectations away. You don't feel you're just talking to a person. Forget any expectation you have that you're gonna sell anything,
uh,
right? And just talk to the person and just ask them questions, right? And like one thing I'll do to change, because here's the thing, right? If I'm like I don't want to talk to, there's something I learned because I was on different sales gigs during that time. If I'm like I don't want to talk to anybody, I hate this shit, blah blah blah. Because there's days where it's like I love sales, man. Sales is great. There's moments, not even days, moments. There's moments where it's like I fucking hate this. I don't want to talk to anybody. Screw this shit. And then it's like I love this, right?
yeah.
Those are just emotions. That just comes with being human. Um, if I just like, how do I explain this? If I can remind myself they're a human by starting the call in a human way,
Mm.
I feel a lot better about it because I can just have a conversation, right?
Yeah,
So
man.
if I'm like, so let's say like you just jumped into, let's say like my camera's off and like your camera's off, you just jumped in the Zoom meeting, right? I'll kind of start it off like a little higher energy, even if I feel like shit. I'm like, so what's up, man? Right?
Uh-huh.
Like, oh man, you got the whole business shirt on. You got the interesting background today. What's that about? Man, you going to space or something, right? I'll just say something funny or chill, right? And that kind of like for me, that takes the work element out of it, and I just talk to them, right? So I'm like, right, because I what I do is I never read from a script. I memorize the script, right? I
Uh-huh.
study all the questions so I understand why we're asking it and what are the answers we're looking to get. I study like successful calls, right? I study the actual offer so I understand the problem that we're solving, and then I'll ask questions around each deliverable that we solve, right? So I have that in my brain already, right? So I forget there's a script, so I can just have a conversation. I talk to the person, and I'm like, you know, and it's just like, well, cool. I guess fill me in. Like, how can I help?
Yeah.
And they start talking, and they start talking, and then I hear like a point to like get onto the train track for my script, right? Because here's one thing I've learned, like, um, you don't want to be too process oriented where you're literally like not even human or yourself and you don't
Yeah.
like it,
Yeah.
but you don't want to deviate too far from a process because then you don't have like control over your results. So what I found works really well is like I just try to get on track, right? I try to get on the train track.
Yeah.
So they start talking, and I know like, okay, cool, I'm looking for a problem that they're looking to solve or a goal that they're looking to achieve. So as soon as they mention anything that could possibly relate to like a problem or a goal, I probe into it,
Mm.
right? And literally anything that could possibly happen moving forward is basically scripted out, right? So the
Very
emotions and everything's taken out of it because I know my process. I know how to have a sales call. But to break that initial like fuck this, like I just humanize the intro. Like, what's up, dude? Like, how you doing?
okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. It's like,
So
hey, you're brown too.
yeah.
No fucking way. You know?
Okay, so it looks like from what I heard, yeah, it looks like you wake up or you got a call in like 10, 15, 20 minutes, you're not feeling like it. First thing you usually go to is anger. Like or like not anger, like anger with yourself, like annoyed with yourself at like the fact that this isn't really work. You're
Yeah.
lucky to be, and then it goes to gratitude. Like you're angry because you
Yeah.
should be grateful, technically.
Yeah.
That's what kind of breaks you out of the I don't want to do this vibe. And then
Right.
afterwards, what you do is you lower the what's the word, the action threshold. It's not a sale, it's just a conversation,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
And then you'll make it easy. Usually that's what I would do. I would be extremely frustrated at the end of a call, like if I didn't get a sale.
Yeah.
And then when you become outcome dependent, what happens is like every every sale you don't make really knocks the wind out of you. Like you're, oh man,
Yeah.
disappointment, And one of the things I think you've probably experienced this quite a bit is, being able to manage your disappointment.
Yeah.
Any journey, whatever it is probably one of the hallmarks of being a successful person. Um,
Yeah. I think even like to add to that, like managing your expectations, bro.
mm,
Right? Because like, dude, if I got off a call and I know I did everything in my fucking power to like, you know, like help them do the best thing for them, like I'm good. I'm actually pumped about a call that doesn't close, but I literally did everything that I possibly could, right?
yeah,
I'm pumped about a call that doesn't close, where it's like I told him, "Hey, buddy, we can't help you," right?
that's
Like, because I know that like I served them, I served myself, I stuck to my process, and I'm probably, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
I'm gonna close like 3 out of 10 people, 4 out of 10 people, like following that process, right? And I know that I'm gonna make the money I want to make doing that. But I don't think you should ever like expect a sale. I
yeah,
think it's just, I think you should lower the initial expectation and just like so much of it is just what you do when you're off the call, bro.
mm,
Like so much of it is like the development that like the higher your skill set, right? Like probably the more you're gonna make, right?
mm,
So like if your skill set's already there, why would you even worry or focus on some kind of like expectation to close the deal when you don't even know if you could help them, right? I'm
yes,
just sitting here, I'm looking for problems, I'm looking for goals, I'm looking, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I'm looking for reasons, you know,
yeah,
I'm looking for objections, right? Like even if it's minute 4 of the call, if I know what the objection is going to be, I can
try
shut that
block
shit
it.
down from the beginning, right?
Yeah,
Like, wait, hold on, you say you don't have any time. Is that true? Because I happen to know this guy, right? I read his book. His name is Elon Musk, and he's pretty busy too, right? But he just started a new company. So like, how does that work? Is it, you know what I mean? Like you can pre-handle it.
I'm
Like,
taking that. I'm taking
yeah,
that one.
yeah. It's like, yeah, like, dude, if I asked Jeff Bezos for 2 hours of his time, he would probably say like fuck off, right? But
Yeah.
if I said, hey, 2 hours a week for the next 6 weeks and I'll give you $20 billion, you probably do it.
Yeah.
Like, because
Yeah.
it's worth it. It's important,
Yeah.
right? So how important is this, right? It's so I'm just looking for that shit, bro. And you know,
Yeah.
if I follow my process and there's somebody who can buy, because like even with paid ads, half of these people can't even fucking buy, right? Like depending on the account, every account's different, but half of these people like they either shouldn't be helped by you,
Yeah.
right? Or they either shouldn't be helped by you or they're not going to be able to, right? Um,
Yeah.
I,
Um,
yeah, go
man,
ahead.
that's yeah, bro. Like one thing that I notice a lot with, people who, hit their, because I didn't really dive into your reason why. I mean, I see that you wanted to hit 10K a month, you wanted to be an entrepreneur and whatnot. Um,
Mhm.
but I think the drive that you have is almost paralleled or equal to your reason why. I noticed this for myself as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, 100%.
So what is your reason why? What is the thing that kind of keeps you going and, keeps you in the game in terms of trying to hit your goals and whatnot?
What's my reason why? I mean, I just don't want to be a piece of shit. Dude, I look at the guys that are in there. Like I used to work at the dealership, bro. And like that's a very serious answer. I don't want to be a piece of shit. Like life
Yeah.
is short, right? Like you're going to die, right? Like, and so when I used to work at the dealership, and this is something I'll never forget. This guy was there because this is when I was 18, right? 3 or 4 months into deciding I wanted to like have a different type of life. And this couple comes, right? There's three people, right? A mom, a husband, and a wife,
Uh-huh.
right? And dude, let me tell you, bro. Like number one, right? Like no offense to the dude, but just fat. His mom's there with his girlfriend. Like I'm not being mean, but his girl is like ugly and she's also fat.
Mm.
Like he's like in his 40s. He has gray hair, but he looks like a baby and he's like weird. And I show them this car. He really likes it. And he's like, I want the car. And his mom says, you're not buying that car. You can't afford that in front of his wife, bro.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like this is the most pathetic shit that I've ever seen in my. I'm not even trying to judge, but I'm like, dude, if I was in that position, like that's absolutely pathetic, and that's what's awaiting somebody who isn't like getting after like hitting their goals and actually fucking doing something.
Yeah.
So like, I just don't want to be a piece of shit, dude. I want to live a badass life, and I want to do that in my fucking 20s. Like, there's a
Yeah,
really
man.
good book by MJ. I think it was by MJ Marco, but it's called The Millionaire Fastlane. He talks about it. Like, why the fuck would you wait to be really rich and live your life, right? Until you're old and you can't even like enjoy the money. Like, dude, imagine being 25, like super freaking ripped,
Yeah.
all this money, right? All this power, right? Like that's the ultimate experience. So I just want to have the ultimate experience, dude.
Yeah, man.
You know what I
That's,
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah, bro,
right,
I
like
totally know what you mean. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and obviously, right, like I have a mom and she's sick and family and whatever, right? I want to help them, lead them, whatever the fuck. But I just don't want to be a piece of shit, dude.
Yeah. There's opportunity everywhere. So,
Yeah,
um, one thing I've always, the idea of failing, right?
yeah,
And you had no excuse to fail haunts me. Like I had literally like the layup. You know when you're right under the rim, you're right
yeah.
under, and you
Oh,
still
you're a
miss.
hooper. Yeah, yeah. I was hooping today.
And then imagine like the whole crowd is watching you. Like, what is wrong with this
Yeah,
guy?
yeah, yeah.
So, so yeah, man. I mean, that's a really strong reason why. I mean, so how long did it take you from deciding to become an inbound closer, trying to make 10K a month, to actually hitting that?
Um,
5 months, you said.
yeah. I mean, I bought the course in April, and again, right? I have 5 years of sales experience before this. I was naturally shit at sales,
Uh,
right? Very antisocial, like upbringing, extremely antisocial upbringing, actually. Like hyper extreme. But so I was just not like I guess naturally bad at it. But so 5 years of sales training and development before that moment, right, when I
Uh-huh.
started. But April I started, and July I was, doing. I got a good opportunity, and um, October, like around October, around
June,
there, yeah. Like
July.
October, November, so that would be like 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. Wow.
Yeah, but it was never consistent, right? It's like 1 or 2 months, right? I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? 1 or 2 months, I'm just balling the fuck out. Like I remember I used to, like, I knew my family wouldn't believe me. I mean, they saw me buying a bunch of shit, but like, you know, and so I would pull out my phone and I'm like, look at my deposits. Look,
Wow.
I got $7,600
How did
this
you celebrate, man? When you first hit your 10K, like what do you do?
month. What did I do? No, so I did. I just started buying it. So I've always been a bad spender. Like money has always been like a challenge for me, which is why like anything under 20K, bro, and I'm fucking broke, you know. Uh, but what did
What
I
you
do?
spend that?
No, no. So it was like it's actually a funny story. So like, obviously I'm buying shit, right? I'm buying shit for myself. I told my sister like, hey, like you're gonna clean the house for me, and I'll pay you like $100 a week.
Yeah.
Like just just stupid shit, right? Um, but no, dude. So like that was probably the first time I had like a decent chunk of change in my bank account. But like, my mom is a sickness. She has multiple sclerosis, and she's always in pain. So, um, I can't have a healthy conscience if I don't help out with that.
Well,
So I got her a coach for 5Gs. It was like 4,800, whatever the fuck. And they're still working together, right? But like I paid for that. I got myself a bunch of massages. I started getting massages like every week. I was just getting a bunch of food. So that you know what I mean? Like I just started, but even like bro, even like 10K, like it's not that much money. Like
mm,
it goes like if you're actually like buying stuff, it's not that much. Like
mm,
that's what, like I don't think life starts until you're making like 20, in my opinion, until you're making 20 grand a month, right? So it's like um I just spent it on just everywhere, dude. When I was in high school, I used to collect sneakers, so I started a little collection, and I was like, this is lame, and I sold them all.
wow.
Yeah, so I was just being dumb. I was just spending it all, but
I guess it's the freedom that it bought you. Like, you just walk in, I can buy that. When I was in scaffolding, I was making like 1,500 a week.
yeah, yeah, dude, exactly. You make that
At
money, and
19, bro, I was like, I'll walk into places and
don't
people
even look at the
say,
price.
yeah, and people,
I want
it's
to spend it all.
crazy, man, how your mindset changes with money. I mean, when you start getting money in your account,
Yeah,
and people tell you, oh, they tell you the price as if it's like, get ready for the price. And then they tell you,
I
okay,
go fuck.
fine. Like, are you sure that's okay? Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
So, man, so you've hit your goal. And when you hit your goal, I mean, I saw you kind of post this on the UCM Facebook mastermind, talking about how like after you hit your goal, you kind of lost drive, or you kind of like I mean, you celebrated, you hit your goal, but you lose that excitement, I'm guessing, to pursue something and struggle to try and get something. Is that kind of what happened to you?
yeah. What did happen? Yeah, I mean, so I had so basically what happened is I had like 2 months where I made like what I made like a lot of money, like to me like a lot of money at the time, right? I had like 2 months, so it wasn't like every single month I was making like you know what I mean, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10K, right? It was like I had 2 months, like two and a half. I had 1 month out, right? Like whatever. I had like, that I made a decent amount,
Mhm.
and then yeah, I kind of got into party mode. I started playing video games for the first time in years, like literally the first time in like 4 years,
Yeah.
when I did that, and and then I figured out like people were struggling on the fulfillment side, so I didn't want to be on the calls, and then like I left the offer, right?
Okay.
And yeah, and then I got in the other offer, but like I was, I was setting appointments, and I was setting appointments in that group. I wasn't even a closer, right? I was literally just cold calling people, like. I got into the other place, and I started setting appointments there, and like I remember when I started, like I was able to get the same, if not better, results than everybody else, and I was doing like 2 3 hours a day of work, right? So like I would work my 2 or 3 hours, and then
Uh-huh.
chilling, I'm laying down, I'm watching
Yeah.
YouTube videos, playing games, literally like all day, like on like freaking Rocket League and like Call of Duty right on my computer.
Wow.
First time in like four, yeah, and I just didn't give a fuck. And
Why is that though? Why does that happen?
I mean, as a kid, that's what I did. As a kid, like that was my thing. So I just kind of fell into like old patterns. Um, so I mean, I was in that for a couple months, right? And just the pattern of like do your training and show up to meetings and spend your 2, 3 hours doing this and getting good results, right? Whatever. Get your base, get your sales, and then just like chill all day, right? So I kind of fell into that for a couple months. And at some point I was like, okay, cool. No, like I think it was around April. In around like April, May, like June, that kind of period, I was like, all right, I bought the inbound closer course a year ago. I've been doing appointment settings. Screw that. Let me start closing. So I picked up a closing gig and I was there for about 5 months. And so I was closing there while I was like setting appointments here, like super part time, right? So I was taking like 6 calls a day or whatever. And that was actually going good. Like I was starting to make like really good money again. And now I was closing, right? And I was like, ah, let's go. And then yeah, I mean, I got another one and then
Mhm.
another one, right? And then like, and now I'm here, and now I'm in this one. So it's just long story short, but I don't even remember your initial question, bro. I'm just rambling.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, no, because you know what it is, I get this as well. Like when I hit
Uh-huh.
a goal, say I've got a goal to, I don't know, make a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
When I hit it, like I just sit, I just coast. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? You'll coast. And I realized that so the way things go, like, chapter one, you don't know what you're doing, or you kind of, you haven't sparked that journey yet. And then chapter two, you
Right.
struggle, you got the roller coaster, you've got people on your YouTube channel saying, "Where's the money? Where's the money?" over and over again.
Where's the money?
Where's the money?
It's like, shut
And
up, you work at McDonald's. Yeah.
they must have been really like motivating you though. Like, yo, listen, I need to do something. Um,
Yeah.
so and then you got chapter three where you've hit your goal. Usually two things happen there, man. Like peak, you
Hmm.
got excitement, you've got like I finally did it, but then you also got like a what now kind of moment. I'm
Yeah.
trying to say, and I'm guessing like you're probably because you're going to Costa Rica next week, and
Yeah. Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
going there to kind of accomplish something new. Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Meet new people and kind of like get new ideas and yeah, like make money and at work. Yeah, all that shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. And I'm guessing that's just life, right? So it's just constantly starting over and over again, taking new journeys, building up new skills.
Yeah.
Um,
You
oh yeah, man. What's next for you anyway? I mean, we'll just quickly wrap up. I want to quickly understand. I mean, what's next for you? What's kind of the goal here? I mean, in terms of you've hit your
Yeah.
10K, 20K a month now. I mean,
Yep.
what do you do now?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I'd say as of right now, I have a 10, 20K a month like skill set, right? Like if you put me on a decent offer, I'll do it. I just started on this offer last week, right? And so far it's going really good. Last week I made some sales, got some momentum. So I'm just planning on really crushing it here for the next couple of months, right? Once I'm doing like 20K a month consistently. And I had the conversation with the owner about this. Like I literally said, dude, this is exactly what, because it's one thing to make like 10 or 20 grand, right?
Yeah,
1 month, right? Because a lot of people say I make that
yeah,
every month when they really did it once, right? It's something else to do it consistently month over month, right? So right now the goal is just to do that consistently, like month over month, right? And from there, I mean, the whole idea is I want to get a place in Miami, right? So I want to get a condo there and really kind of get plugged in just with a lot of the yachts and the networking and the
uh,
people and the partying, just live, bro, because I'm like the idea is be the guy who's 25, ripped, like dude, I probably put on like 25 pounds of muscle in the
yeah,
last,
bro. Like
right?
I saw you deadlifting.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah, the Romanian deadlifts like on Instagram, was it?
insane, bro. Insane,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah. So it's like I have
Do you do like martial arts as well, by the way? Like fighting, any kind of boxing?
Yeah, I did wrestling for 2 years in high school. I did a lot of training for boxing. I was never like a boxer, but I did a lot of training, right? So like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Like so
No, but like, have you done like sparring, getting your face punched, that kind of stuff?
yeah, 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 100%.
Was
But
that like,
but
huh?
wrestling was my thing though. Like I used to wrestle, bro, in high school, and that was when I was in the best shape. I used to ride my bike 8 miles a day to school, 8 miles a day back.
Wow.
Right. I was dating a girl who lived further down the road, so sometimes I would actually ride 8 miles to school. I would do our 3 hour practice, so like we're sparring and training and going back and forth and rolling around for 2 hours, and then we go in the
Yeah.
weight room and live for another hour, right? And then I would ride my bike like what is it, like 13 miles back, right? And then like 13 miles to school if I decide to stay there, or 5 miles to the house, and then 8 miles the next morning, right? So it
That's
was a pretty intense routine. Like I actually had like at the time I probably had like 4 or 5% body fat.
your
You know,
cardio must have been insane, man.
yeah, no, the cardio was insane, and like pull-ups were like nothing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, so that was definitely kind of a time, and yeah, I noticed like people respected me more. They were like, yeah, like because I told you I was super antisocial growing up, so like
Yeah.
that, and so that was kind of I guess a turning point for me, right? Where it's like now like people just looking at me differently, right? And like
Yeah.
they're almost intimidated of me,
Yeah. Yeah. I
and
get that. Yeah.
either intimidation or just like respect, like what's up, like yeah, like
You see
um
the look in their eyes. I know what you're talking about.
yeah, no, 100%. So that was, yeah, martial arts and just training in general have been huge. Also basketball though. Basketball kind of saved my life, to be honest.
Uh,
Yeah, no, just starting to socialize and interact. That's my favorite sport, basketball. Always will be.
yeah. I used to play a lot of basketball. I used to play for like flipping 10 hours a day, man, when I was in
Same,
summertime.
same. Now I'm starting to get into it. Like I finished sales calls at like 6, right? And I have until like 8:30 till it gets dark. So fuck it, let's go out and hoop. So I've been doing that the last couple of days. Getting back into it.
Well, that's good, man. That's good. You're gonna go to Miami.
Yeah. So Miami, yeah. So the plan is like 20K a month consistently on this offer, right? Really get it consistent and get it nailed down. And once that's like really good and really consistent, yeah, dude, just go to Miami. I want to get a Lexus, brand new, like convertible, all black, right? Like fully loaded, freaking, like that's the
Yeah,
car I
yeah,
want to get. Now I'm like looking around like different condos and apartments and stuff, like where I want to kind of have like a home, like kind of a base.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, dude, like that'll be the next step, and then just do whatever I want, right? I could start a business, like once you have the
Skills,
ability to, once you have an ability to sell, bro, and
yeah.
network, you
Yeah.
can do anything, because those are the
Exactly.
hardest things in business: selling and networking. Everything else you can hire out to other people, and I know how to hire, right? Because I've hired for myself, and I've been on 2 different offers selling high ticket, like to actually teach people how to hire, right? So I study the offer, I know how to hire, so it's like I can start pretty much any business I want. Right? It's just like getting to the 20K a month consistently, and then getting myself there, and then like doing whatever I want, right? Like from there. That's kind of the trajectory.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'd like to see where your journey ends. I'm talking like, 20, 40 years from now.
Yeah,
You're gonna
that's
be
tough, bro. That's tough. I struggle to see that far into the future.
mm,
Because I think one thing that I've heard from somebody who's from just very successful people in general was like your vision, right? Your ability to have like true vision is very much based on like where you're at, right? It's a perspective game. Like if you're down here, right? If you're at ground zero, like true vision, like all you see is like sky and the houses around you, right? It's
yeah.
not until you elevate that you truly have like true vision. And because
Oh,
from here, like let's say I'm here right now, maybe here, right? I was here, now I'm here, right? Like let's say my max vision that I can realistically see is maybe like 12 months out,
mhm.
right? Once I'm here, I'll be able to see like 24 months out, right? Like I'll just have, because vision is like what you can see that you can believe,
Okay.
right? If you believe, like you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and so I'm just when I first started, I would say I'm gonna be a trillionaire, I'm gonna be a billionaire. But I spent 4 years fucking turning my wheels and not making any money in the agency, right? Because I
Yeah.
was deluding myself. Right. So it's like 20K every single month consistently, right? Right. From there, like money's good, because I don't want it to just be money, right? Right now, a lot of what I can think about is money.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I want my goal to be like true, right? Like impact, life, business, connection. So like once money is truly out of the way, right? That'll kind of open up the path for a lot of other stuff. And I can on my in my spare time, you know what I mean? In my spare time, I can do stuff like go to Costa Rica, network with these different people. Yesterday I was at the basketball court in the presence of a bunch of professional basketball players, right? They were playing in our local park.
Yeah.
They're YouTubers. They all have like 1 million subs, and they just do that for a living, right?
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, and that's something I would like to do, like fuck it, why not? Like I
Yeah.
don't even train. I'm like 5'10". I don't really train my vertical or anything, but I went out today and I was doing little like baby dunks, like fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
if I train and develop myself, I could do that.
Mhm.
I could just do the video games and be a streamer and like network in that world. Like, why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
Like there's so many paths that are to be taken, bro. Especially when you have money to invest in opportunities and connections,
That's what it is, bro. That's
right?
exactly what it is, bro. And that doesn't that excite you? Don't
Oh,
you
it's
get
awesome,
like
dude.
you know what I mean?
Awesome.
Like your blood starts boiling. I feel like energy run through my body every time I think about, what is possible. And not only that, I mean, one of the best parts about the journey is just generally looking back and going, man,
Right.
I was that guy and now I'm this guy, you know?
Yeah, dude,
And
this whole conversation is that it's hilarious because it's like I haven't talked about this stuff. It's
oh,
like,
is
oh yeah,
it?
it's true. You know what I mean? I haven't talked about this with like a lot of the stuff I told you. Like I don't think I've shared before, right? It's like, oh yeah, that's true. I was because so if you go back and watch the recording, like a little, it's kind of jumbled up because I haven't thought about it in a while. But like, oh shit, yeah, like I really what I saw for my future was working 2 jobs and going to community college. You know what I mean, bro?
Yeah.
Like I was married, like I was like it's just it's a comical, right? Looking back on it, but when I'm in a fucking jet, when I'm doing my thing, that's what the contrast was gonna make it so good,
Yeah, exactly, bro.
you know?
Man, I think I really appreciate you kind of sharing all of this with me. Um,
It's been
it's
fun.
great to it's great to kind of live through your journey and kind of benefit from all the things that you did. It seems like you have a lot of drive, a lot of work ethic, um, and it seems like your fear threshold is a lot lower than most people's. Um,
I'd say so.
yeah, right. I was getting that vibe on this conversation. So, um, man, it was great. Do you have any final takeaways, final things you'd like to mention for people who want to start their journey?
Um, yeah, I think because probably what's gonna happen is a lot of people like get into sales, number one. Like if you're trying to find a direction, like just get in sales. You're
Yeah.
gonna learn so many skills you have for the rest of your life. And I think something that would probably be valuable for like a lot of people is like so much of life is like our mindset, right? Like
Mhm.
one thing that I'm noticing on this offer that I'm on now, because it's like I'm literally every day at least twice I'm talking to like people that are making like in the 7-figure range, is like there's so much you can like dude, one of the beauties of being in sales is you can access like really high net worth people, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like look for these people. Um, like don't like obviously like right, you want to make your sale, you want to make your money, but like dude, like understand who you're talking to, like build relationships. Fuck,
Yeah.
because um yeah, I mean just remember like every single person you talk to knows 100 people, right? And like they might know the thing that you're missing. And one more thing too, actually, because I think this is actually huge, because this is what's going to happen, right? A lot of guys are going to see courses and they're going to see opportunities, right? And I
Mm.
think courses are valid and they do help you get successful faster. But if you don't have a certain like level of motivation or drive or discipline or like desire to hit a certain goal, you're never going to be successful. And you shouldn't even buy a course because you're just wasting your fucking time and your money, right? So I think before people get started in business, they should have that conversation with themselves, because like a lot of people I jump on sales calls with, they're not going to be successful with or without a course,
Yeah.
right? Like if you have enough drive, you're gonna be successful regardless,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people just don't have the fucking drive and they're wasting their fucking time. So like everybody needs to like have that look in the mirror and like be honest with themselves, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just wasting your fucking time going through these courses and booking calls and whatever, right? Like
Uh, that's it, man. The idea of success and money and fame and whatever comes with, people want it, but I mean, if you don't have a clear, crystal clear why, that thing that, okay, you know what, I can't be that guy, or uh, I have to take care of my family, or whatever, you don't have a clear why. I mean, once you hit a wall, man, you won't be able to climb over it. So, I mean, it's super important. I mean, that's great advice.
Yeah, bro. You just
you know,
gotta fucking want it, bro. I think so many people like most people are full of shit. Like that's the truth, you know? Most guys that are like super successful, like they're not doing anything different. They just want it more than you
yeah, that's it.
do. That's it. That's literally it. So yeah, man, it's been great jumping on, dude.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate it.